How's it going, everybody? Today's joke is the schedule makers because it is Memorial Day and the Yankees, for some reason, have an off day. That is stupid.
Some things are a matter of duty.
Hey, Derek. Nick from South Carolina. Well, they say you can't win them all, and, it's just a matter of time before, we lose a couple games here and there, obviously. But our starting pitching has done its job. Unfortunately, our bullpen hasn't come through the way it should have been. It doesn't help when you have Gleyber Torres making a bonehead easy play make look hard. And he started off an inning that we ended up losing 4 runs, and we never recouped.
Yeah, it was a bad day for the bullpen, no doubt. The bullpen is generally pretty good, but they're going to have their bad days too. We are getting Scott Efros back soon, so that'll help. But let's talk about Gleyber Torres. He seems to be the man of the hour in a bad way. He has had a miserable season, no doubt about it. And I think the contract issue, the pressure of playing for a new contract, seems to be getting to him. He had a great spring training. He came into camp in great shape. He looks like he's in great shape. But being in great shape doesn't make you a better defender, and it doesn't make you a smarter ball player. Now, StatCast says that he's an above-average second baseman and that he is an above-average base runner. But if I were a scout and I were putting a scouting report together, neither of those things would be in my scouting report. So that's one of those things where the eye test directly contradicts what the metrics say. If the Yankees were smart, they would take advantage of this miscalculation in StatCast, and they would take advantage of the fact that he is not going to come back next year, and they would move him now, while a team can still get 4 months of control for Gleyber Torres. I'm sure there's plenty of teams that will take his bat and make the bet that he will improve and basically hit what he hit, the last couple of seasons by the time the season's over, which means a hot summer is coming. Now, the Yankees might be betting on that too, saying, well, we're not going to trade him at a time when he's getting ready to go off. But I think that there are things that he subtracts from the team. Like he doesn't seem to have his head in the game, and everybody else does. He doesn't run the bases well. I don't care what StatCast says. I can think of a dozen instances over the last couple of years where he gets caught in between bases, he gets picked off, and he just does something stupid. He makes dumb throws in the field. He can't turn a double play. He's had so many problems with double plays over the last couple of years. And he looked so good in spring. That's why it's baffling. But once the season started, he just couldn't get it going. So if I'm the Yankees, I'm looking for any suitor that I can find that is willing to take Gleyber Torres and will give me anything, literally anything. You're not going to get much for him because he is in a contract year. And I think it's time to give Oswald Peraza a real chance. Oswald Peraza is 23 years old. Now, so far this season in the minors, he's only hitting .208, but he's got a .356 on-base percentage. He's coming back from an injury. He's got 3 home runs in the first 48 at-bats. He's a .270 career minor league hitter, and when they first called him up to the Yankees a couple of years ago, he hit .300. Now, last year, he couldn't get it going. His play was kind of sporadic, but I think if you give this guy a stretch of games where he knows he's going to play, he knows he's going to be in the same spot of the batting order and the same spot on the field every day, and you let him get comfortable as a big leaguer, the talent will allow him to succeed. He's got great talent. We've all seen the glove. You see the bat speed there. You see the power. He's got a great arm. I think that the Yankees' defense up the middle will become elite with he and Anthony Volpe playing next to each other. And it really could be one of those situations where you've got your middle infield for a decade because Volpe's 22 and Peraza's 23. I mean, hell, you could do a lot worse defensively than that. So I think it's time for the Yankees to consider that move.
Hey, Derek, Shane. This third base question this year reminds me of last year when the question was, boy, the Yankees need a center fielder. Man, the Yankees need a center fielder. Let's trade for this center fielder. And there were some of us out there saying, well, the Yankees already have a center fielder. I remember I had this conversation with my brother last year, and he goes, who? What center fielder? I said, well, Aaron Judge is our center fielder. I guess I don't understand why we think we need a third baseman. This Cabrera kid is doing the job. With playing time, he can become, I feel, stellar defense, as Greg Nettles was back in the late 70s, early 80s. Nettles would get you 240, hit you 20 homers, get you 80, 85 RBIs, and play stellar defense by making the plays. I just don't understand why we think we need a third baseman when we got one.
Well, Cabrera's doing okay. I mean, he's got 20 RBIs, yes, but a lot of that was very early in the season. Over his last 7 games, he's hitting 150. He's 3 for his last 20 with no home runs. You really want a little bit more power out of the corner infield spots. Last 15 games, 250, 295 on base percentage, just 2 RBIs, no home runs. I don't think offensively he's as good as he was to begin the season. I think he opened up the season on a heater, and now he's kind of regressing to the mean. I agree with you, he's a pretty good defender, but I also like Oswaldo Cabrera as a utility guy. I think that he should be the guy who moves between third base and shortstop and second base and first base. We've seen him play all of those positions. He can also play the outfield. To me, he's the perfect kind of super utility guy. I think the Yankees need a more steady third baseman with a little bit more offensive upside. Real quick word from our sponsor, OddsJam, and then we got a couple of more voicemails. Looking to boost your sports betting game? Meet OddsJam, the ultimate ally for data-driven wagering. With 260 plus sports books, it's your go-to platform. Here's how it works. OddsJam's arbitrage tool spots differences in betting lines, letting you lock in risk-free profits. Plus, optimize bets with a positive EV calculator and track profits with a convenient bet tracker. Try it risk-free with a 7-day trial. Use code RECAPS for 35% off your first month. Link is in the description. Bet smart. Bet responsibly with OddsJam.
Hey, Derek, how you doing? Great show. This is Milton Diaz. I just wanted to bring up a point that you said something about Lewis Hield, perhaps sometime in August going to the bullpen. I'm not equating it with Java Chamberlain, but I'm sure you remember when they tried to make him a starter, even though he started as a reliever. And then by the time that didn't work out at being a starter, and when he went back to being a reliever, something happened.
I hear you, but that's not exactly how it went down. Jabba Chamberlain was drafted as a starter, and he was a starter all through the minor leagues. He actually rocketed up through the minor leagues in 2007. He appeared in 18 games, and 15 of them were starts. It wasn't until right at the end that they transitioned him into a reliever because the Yankees needed some help in the bullpen. And then when he got to the major leagues, he was 2-0 in 24 innings with 34 strikeouts and a 0.38 ERA. He was so effective as a reliever that there were a lot of people who were divided on whether or not he could remain a full-time starter, and there were multiple issues at play. How effective he was out of the bullpen and the way his body projected. He was a bigger guy, and the Yankees knew that he was going to kind of fill out. And there was questions as to whether or not his body would hold up as a starter, and of course it did not. But I still think he was a pretty good relief pitcher there for a bit. And I think Luis Gil is different. Luis Gil, to me, is a guy that you want as a starter going forward in his career. The only reason that they would back off him is to protect him as a starter in the postseason. We're not saying we're going to transition him into a full-time relief pitcher. We're saying we're going to give him a break. We're going to give him a break and keep him on the roster because he could be useful, and then build him back up to be a starting pitcher. That's what the consensus is. Now, that might not even be what the Yankees decide to do. We don't know what the Yankees are going to do because they haven't said. But Luis Gil's, he's one of the best pitchers in baseball right now, and you want him as a weapon in the playoffs. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Yankees are off today, but they play the Angels tomorrow night. We're going to have a postgame, so tune in for that. And once again, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and call in 718-899-1068. We do voicemail shows on weekdays all season long, and we're going to start taking more voicemails as part of the postgame show. So go ahead and call in, and I'll talk to you later.